Hello everyone, welcome to another Reddit League cast. I am Pastatli and I'm joined by Lunacy.
Hello, what's up? I am Lunacy.
Wow, big surprise. No, we are looking at a Division 1 matchup today on South America between Calamity and Nimrif. Both are in the lower half of the table, so this match might decide a lot. Yeah, depends on who wins and stuff. Anyway, who do you think will win?
Um, I think that this is going to be a pretty even match, at least on paper, because this is a Division 1 match, right? Like, this is the highest skill level in the league, at least separated by league standards. And at the moment, I believe, as this game was being played, Calamity was in 7th on the table out of 10, and Nimrif was in 8th. And the thing here is that 8th, ninth, and 10th, that's the red zone, that's the relegation spots. Nimrif was just in there, and Calamity was just 1 point out. So the fact that they're playing each other in this match means that it's a pretty important match for this relegation zone kind of place. Whoever wins this match is going to rise up above the other and potentially distance themselves from the relegation, because you don't want to relegate. You don't want to be relegated, especially not at the end of a long season against this players of this skill level in this division, basically. So it's a pretty high stakes match, and I can't actually say who's gonna do better, because South America is a pretty tough continent. It's really big, really empty, really vast. We had a taste of that in the Argentina week. So really, it comes down to who can find more clues and be better at region guessing, I think.
Honestly, I would say Calamity has the upper hand because a couple weeks ago, even months at this point, maybe, um, we talked about or we chatted about like which are our favorite continents to play, respectively, and I think South America was very high up, if not the first, then the second for sure, for Calamity. So I think Calamity has a good shot at it. Also, Bolivia is one of his favorite countries to play in, if I remember correctly. So if Bolivia actually comes up, I would definitely say that Calamity has the upper hand.
Yeah, this I remember Calamity being very good at Bolivia, but Bolivia is just one country, and South America has, like, most of the possible countries in South America are on Geoguessr, other than Paraguay, Suriname, Guyana, and France, technically. So
Also Venezuela.
really, oh, true, yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of places to cover if you want to be good at South America or whatever that means.
Yes. So let's not talk for 5 minutes and let's just hop straight into the cast, I would say.
Sounds good.
Why not? With the round one right now. Oops, audio is still on. I always forget to toggle that. Sorry. Anyway,
Yep.
sorry for that. Yeah, it looks like Brazil, as Calamity said, and you've heard him. There was an area code actually briefly visible, I think.
Yeah, I saw that. You can tell it's Brazil just from like this kind of like generally reddish landscape, the two yellow lines in the middle. The fact that the road is paved but not super well maintained. There's a lot of like small dirt roads coming off the side. Um, yeah, there was an area code there, and Brazil's one of the countries where area codes help a lot. I didn't actually catch what that area code was because both Nimrif and Calamity just looked right at it and then logged what it was and ran away. Being in this division, I assume both players here know at least the regions that the area codes should be in, if not the specific regions that each area code reflects.
I always struggle to memorize numbers. Numbers is definitely not my favorite part of the game. So yeah, as it makes sense, I really struggle with learning area codes. So yeah, I wouldn't know them, but I at least know the region. So, uh, and also I'm in Division 4 out of 5. So if I know them, they should definitely know them. That's
Yeah,
at
that's
least
fair.
my thought process here. The landscape reminds me of the northern part of Brazil, like the northeastern part, where they have a lot of these short um, trees, kind of.
Yeah, like there's a lot of these like short trees like far from the sides of the roads, and it looks like Nimrif is coming up on a location, and Calamity as well, where there's a lot of tall, thin trees with lots of brush at the top, but not that many leaves on the trunk.
Yeah.
I'm sure. someone who's better at botany would be able to tell you what those kinds of trees are called. But I just think of them as denoting generally like northern central-ish Brazil. And that coupled with the red dirt does make sense landscape-wise.
Definitely. I think they both turned around at some point because their compass is telling me that they're going north now and they went south at the beginning.
They did. They've both been searching for a while, and neither of them has actually gone into the map yet. And that's because I don't think they found anything super concrete. All that they found was that one area code. And given that the area code was on a moving vehicle too, who knows how accurate that's actually going to be. Calamity now going into the map just to see what he can find.
Also, Nimrif has a sign telling him the state as well as a place name.
Beautiful. So Nimrif knows that this is in the state of Tocantins, and Calamity region guessing somewhere similar if he hasn't found that sign himself.
There it is.
Yes, that will be very helpful for him as well. Now all they're doing is scanning. Calamity, yeah, essentially being validated in his region guess.
Yeah, that's a nice feeling. Oh, wow.
Yep, they're both angle matching now, but wow, it looks like both of them end up with a very, very nice score there.
Yeah, considering that they didn't have more time to search for the place name, it was a very solid guess of both of them. They even got the region correctly, but Calamity has slightly the upper hand here, with about how many points? 60 points? Yeah, let's say 60 points.
About 59, I want to say. 58 points. Yeah. But that said, that small of an upper hand isn't gonna be that much of a difference maker if the rest of the rounds are as rural and tough to find as this. Both of them region guessing pretty well, such that they both got pretty near, not exactly, but you know, they're still technically within draw range of each other, so it's really up to the rest of the rounds to make a difference.
Yeah. Looking at this round, Calamity keeps talking. Come on, click the button. Anyway, looking at this round, we might see more of Brazil because, yeah, it's such a vast country. It's the biggest of all of them.
Yeah, it is a balanced South America. I'm not sure what balance means in this context. I assume it has to do with the distribution of countries, but hopefully it's not technically distributed by country or by the size of the country.
Yeah, I doubt that it's like same amount of locations per country. That wouldn't make sense, I think. Although I think that would also make sense with the term balanced. Yeah, but I assume that it's just like Brazil has the most locations, followed by Argentina, followed by
Maybe
Colombia, or something like that. I don't know.
Basically, it means that the next round could be anywhere.
Yes, as we get into it right now. Very nice. Thing to switch to the rounds, whatever.
It's a segue. Alright, so both of these players starting off by going south, finding text that informs them of the country that they're in. They'll know that this is Chile from, well, just the general landscape, but as well as the shape, color, and font on the text. Both of them also have now found a sign saying that they are on a particular road. Unfortunately, it is the longest road in Chile that they're on, so that's not super helpful.
Yeah, but Chañaral is actually quite a big place, or notable place, actually. So, unfindable place. I think Calamity has found the place. I'm not 100% sure, though.
Yeah, so really it's the distances that are the most helpful thing here.
Yes.
The thing is, that road, Ruta 5, the one that just goes all the way through Chile, it has so many twists and turns everywhere and goes through so many different sets of mountains that it's going to be pretty difficult to landscape guess just from this. And even when you do landscape guess, it's hard to tell if the curve that you find that looks right is actually the right one just because it curves so much.
I mean, based on the sign we saw south to Santiago, as well as the landscape, we have to be north of Santiago. You don't really get deserts further south than Santiago. Also, yeah, there it is on Nimrif's screen briefly. It's kind of close, also scannable. So yeah, that's a really doable round. And there's a Chilean flag for if the country wasn't obvious before.
Yeah, if the sign to Santiago wasn't enough, this confirms that they are indeed in Chile. And I believe Nimrif has settled on a particular set of they're not really hairpin turns, but like this like winding road That seems to look right. Who knows if it is, though? Nimrif, I believe, is now just going around and confirming. Calamity has yet to find this stretch of road that looks good.
Yeah, these are like gigantic hairpins. And yeah, he's just trying to pinpoint where on these hairpins he is. I think it is pinpointable, which is a nice change to the last compared to the last round. But yeah, Calamity's still moving north. I'm not sure if he's gonna find anything. And I think he's just scanning for General right now. Oh, there he is, found it. Yes.
Yeah, Calamity's found General. Oh. And is going to... Well, Calamity has his pin in the same place that Nimrif has. It has been a while since I played this seed. I actually don't remember whether this is the right place or not. It seems to look right, though. And both the players are zooming in on that, so... It should be right, based on the distances, too.
I think it is. I think it is.
Yeah, so right now they're just looking for a spot where the road goes northwest-ish, and they're looking around for the curves. Calamity sends, or actually time runs out for both of them.
Yes.
That's what happened. And Nimrif is closer by 4 points.
Yeah, a bit of ground made up here, but still in draw range. Yeah, solid run of both of them. Was hard to pinpoint, but doable. Nimrif only dropped 1 point. So yeah, we'll see what the next round brings. Right about now. And looks like Brazil again.
Yep, they're on a paved road, yellow lines in the middle, reddish pavement, signs, black sign back, some dirt roads coming up to the side. It does seem like Brazil once again.
Yeah, also Portuguese writing there, Atenção.
Yeah, sure, that probably is more confirming than anything. What they have here, or what Calamity has on his screen, is a sign for the BR226, and Brazil is crisscrossed with all these national roads that show up at this zoom level, which is pretty useful for scanning if you see anything that says BR-something that's the national road. And Calamity has found the particular national road that was indicated on the sign.
Yeah, and there are some distances to towns, so he can.
Oh, beautiful. That's all I need. Calamity's already found one of the towns, too.
Yes.
Nimrif, I believe, is still looking for clues, but Calamity can now start to pinpoint based on where these other towns are along the 226.
I believe they went in opposite directions, so Nimrif is probably gonna turn around in about 20 seconds, based on experience. Reddit League,
Yeah.
in Reddit League, it definitely makes sense to turn around after half of the time, I would say. Just to check if the opponent has gotten the information, or if there is information for the opponent, if he went the other way, rather.
No, I agree. I think that's an interesting part of Reddit League strategy, too, because there are definitely some players out there who just pick one direction and stick with it. They just go the whole way that way. I know, like, Flipster likes to do that. Jake does that sometimes. And what that does is like, you can find clues that other people don't at the end of your journey, but I often find that turning around is more helpful on average than sticking in one direction, just because you really want to make sure that you don't miss out on a really useful clue that's just 15 seconds the other way that a bunch of other people could have easily found.
It also really depends on the round. Like, if there's civilization coming up with about, 1 minute or 2 minutes to go in a Division 4 city with 4 minutes, it would definitely make sense not to turn around, or if the road's getting bigger or the camera generation is making a jump, you know. Oh,
yep,
there...
indeed. But yes, Calamity has now gotten a 5k on that round very quickly, went the right direction to start with, and pinpointed and found the right location. Nimrif, who did not go the right direction, did turn around eventually and is now zooming in on the right place as well, or looking in the right place.
Yeah, he's at least scanning the right place. Yeah, we'll see if he will zoom into the right place. I'm not sure if I see the places Calamity found on Nimrif's screen though.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Nimrif found the road number, but with 10 seconds left, Nimrif is going to need not a miracle necessarily, but some really good scanning ability to find it. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that is time.
Yeah, time's over. And he's dropped more than 100 points, obviously. No, he's...
Unfortunately, yeah.
He's 1,400 or 350 rather points away from a perfect score, so that gives Calamity the upper hand.
It does, and with only 2 rounds remaining, that is pretty significant, I would say.
Yeah. Come on, Nimrif, click the button finally.
Yeah, basically what Nimrif wants now is Nimrif wants another seed where it's just really difficult to find clues, a really rural round where it's like the possible realm of places to guess has like a more than 1,000 point radius. That's what Nimrif needs at the moment. But
Definitely.
we'll see if that comes up.
Maybe a round like where the country isn't really obvious at the start would be nice.
Potentially.
Yeah, if he goes into one direction and finds like a very hidden clue, that would be great. Anyway, let's stop fantasizing about what the next round can be and just jump into it right now. Oh, and that looks like it could be such round.
It looks like a round where it might be difficult to find the exact location. I don't think this looks like a round where it's difficult to tell what country it is, though, because this kind of dry, mountainous landscape with like these really low, like grasses and brush to the side, as well as the black car, really can only be one place.
And that is?
And that's the mountains of Argentina, which both players would probably know, given that Argentina was in the Reddit League a couple weeks ago.
True, yeah, but we also know, or I also know that Peru can look similar. That was my guess, for instance. Like I guessed Peru in this round and was terribly wrong. Of course, I didn't really try hard and it wasn't my seed. But black car, dry mountains. If you don't pay much attention, it can look similar to Peru.
Interesting. The reason that I didn't think it was Peru initially was that the grasses on the sides of the road doesn't really seem like it in Peru. Like, in Peru, I feel like when you get dry locations like this, there's a lot less vegetation, and the vegetation is a lot more sparse. Here, there is a lot of vegetation, but it's just very low and very small and very like clumped together. But there is a lot of it, and I feel like that generally is what distinguishes Peru from Argentina for me in locations that are similar to this one.
True, good idea, yeah. Also, Calamity has found a Argentinian highway shield, or I'm not sure if it's a highway, but yeah, I mean it kind of is.
Oh, very
Road
useful
highway.
clue then. Yeah.
And he's found the highway on the map, so yeah, he won't drop many points to Nimrif's. Yeah, I'm not sure what the word is for that.
Yeah, I mean, if it is the case that Calamity has found the right road, then what Nimrif needs here is to match Calamity and also hope to do better in the next round. But we also don't know if Calamity is exactly on the right spot.
Also, maybe Nimrif is gonna see the sign as well.
Potentially, yeah. I
find
think
the
they went in the
location.
same direction when they started, but I feel like there's been at least one, maybe two turnarounds, so who knows, really.
Yeah, time's running short for Nimrif. He's still not found anything helpful.
Yeah, if Nimrif doesn't find anything helpful, he'll have to rely a bit on region guessing, although this is not the most impossible place to region guess. I feel like it's better to region guess this than, like, a random flat road in the middle of Brazil, for instance.
I guess, yeah, I guess. It's. I'm pretty sure it's in the Andes, or yeah, mountains like this has to be Andes in South America, and it's hard
Yeah.
to pick the right valley, but I mean it's possible.
Yeah. If we think Calamity's in the right place, Nimrif is now looking for a place where the road goes generally east-west and that there is a river to the north, but unfortunately does not find it. Calamity does, and thus gains another about 1,800 points on Nimrif.
Yeah, solid round from Calamity there. He hasn't quite found the right spot, but it's definitely enough on such a hard round like this. Oh, Nimrif's looking at the location. Anyway, yeah, this valley with the road number was definitely enough to at least get closer to it. Nimrif, unfortunately, not seeing that location, which gives him a disadvantage, or a bigger disadvantage now.
Yeah, unfortunate. So it means that Nimrif will basically need a very, very good round to be able to catch up to Calamity. It's not impossible, but it will be reasonably difficult.
Yeah, definitely. So let's just jump into the last round right now. And look at that, it's Brazil again, probably.
Wow, I hope these players have practiced their Brazil. And based on how they've been doing in the last two, I feel like they have.
Yeah, yeah.
Both of them immediately coming across a sign, the PR indicating that they're in the state of Paraná, and the 464 meaning that it is a state road. You'll have to zoom in a bit further to find those, but they're kind of organized within each state, I would say. Some are more organized than others.
They're usually not too hard to find. Like if you scan for about a minute, you're bound to stumble upon it after some time, um, unless you're really unlucky or yeah, just don't not scan it in the right corner of the state. Some states are also really big, so it might also be hard because of that. Paraná is a mid-sized state, and yeah, I think it's very doable to find that
Yeah.
correct highway.
I'd agree. And it's interesting, I think, that both players have found, like, just this one sign, and they're just scanning for it. Because there are some countries, there are some maps, where I feel like if you find a road number like this, you should still keep going to try to see what else you can find, but in a round like this one, could be difficult. Like, these players know that Brazil rounds like this are notoriously empty and hard to find clues in, so even finding a sign this close to spawn is really a godsend if you want to be able to get a high score.
Yeah, definitely. I think it has also something to do with this map because it's an AI generated map. AI gen maps are usually more rural, as we have said it a couple times this season. So that means like you won't get much information, and every teeny tiny bit of information might be only the last thing you'll see in this round, and you have to use it as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, I follow that. Also, I'd like to backtrack on something I said earlier. I said this was a balanced South America. I'm getting it confused with a balanced South Africa. This is an arbitrary South America, so who knows what that means.
True. True, yeah, very true, yeah. We've had a couple balanced maps. I think we've had a, no wait, did we? I'm confused.
We've had at least one or two, surely.
Yeah.
All right, Nimrif
yeah,
now. Oh, Nimrif has found the road, it looks like. Incredible, and is now angle matching.
yeah.
Has Calamity found the road? I don't think Calamity's found it yet.
No.
So this puts Nimrif ahead, but Nimrif is going to need Calamity to make a pretty big mistake in order to catch up.
Yeah, I don't think he can lose this many points within the state of Paraná.
It's a mid-sized state, as someone wise once told me.
Yeah, it's also like right in the north up there. You can see the border on the river on Nimrif's screen briefly. So
Yeah, so those border roads are really hard to scan for. I always just start in the middle and sort of look around. That's gonna be time. Nimrif gets just 2 points off Calamity over 300, but that's not gonna be enough for Nimrif, unfortunately.
Yeah, Calamity takes the victory here. As I said, Paraná not big enough, or respectively, Calamity's region guess good enough to make him not lose. What the hell? Drop enough points to lose this game. So yeah, Calamity will take this victory gladly, and and the points that come with it, and maybe he'll not end up in the relegation players after all.
Right, yeah, and what this also means is that since there's only 1 week after this, I believe, Calamity is definitely going to be thankful for those points to distance himself from relegation, and Nimrif basically needs to win his next match in order to escape from relegation, if that's even possible after the results of this week.
A perfect score would definitely be handy for Nimrif at this point.
Yeah, but who knows if it's possible to get a perfect score on any of the balanced South Africa seeds.
I doubt it. I strongly doubt it. But more of that later, when we actually come across a South Africa cast. So that was it. Thanks very much for watching, and see you for the next one. Bye bye.
See you later.